Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is JC Emmis, Head of Product for the MX category at Logitech. Thank you for joining us, JC.
Thank you for having me.
Well, the MX category certainly has been busy this year, and you've got a brand new mouse to tell us about, really two versions of it, I guess, one for PCs and one that works with almost anything, and one designed more specifically for Macs, the MX Anywhere 3. I'll let you tell us about what's new. What are the cool features?
Yes, so you know, when we build these products, the thing that makes us really come to work and be happy about what we do is that we help advanced users create the world of the future. And this mouse is one more generation that is really, we put that in the hands of users so that they can, you know, work faster. And the overall goal we have is that they can think, and what they think that needs to happen on the screen. And you want the transition from what is happening in your brain to what is happening on the screen as fluid and efficient as possible. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about MX Master 3, which is the mobile version of our best, most advanced mouse. And if you go into more of the details, we have been working on this mice for a long time, and we always want to improve. So we don't make drastic changes, we keep what people love, and then we improve the thing that need to be improved, and we bring new experiences. And the main change here on MX Anywhere 3 is the new mag speed wheel, which is a scroll wheel. And it's featuring a new technology that we already introduced in larger version of the mouse last year. So last year we launched MX Master 3. And this year we launched MX Anywhere 3. And the magic is that all the technology that is inside this scroll wheel has been reduced, so that now we have it in a mobile form factor. And today, there are a lot of people working from home. And when you think about a mobile mouse, you can think about it it's not only going to airports and hotels, but it's also being able to be mobile around the home. And we are all living this, and we have seen these situations where you start the day, you need to work on a small corner of your kitchen table, and then the kids arrive and you need to move to another room, and then you continue in the living room, or you go back to the bedroom. So the ability to have a smaller mouse that can work on any surface is super important. So if I go back to the mag speed wheel, the magic here is that it's using electromagnets. So the technology inside the wheel is using electromagnets to give you the feeling of scrolling. So when you turn, you will feel all the lines, and it goes one by one. So you turn and you feel line by line, every line. This is given by a magnet. And what we can do is that as you scroll faster, we are going to remove this feeling, and the wheel is going to go into free spinning. So when you're going slowly, you feel all the lines. And as soon as you scroll faster, you go into free spinning mode, which allows to just spin the wheel, and you can go 1000 lines all the way down to your code, if you're coding, or to an Excel spreadsheet, or to the end of a long web page. And we have seen that people really enjoy this. It's something you need to try. I've done a lot of user tests, and when I gave the mouse to people, they would try for a week, and then I would go back to them and ask them, okay, can you give me the mouse back? And they would say, no, I want to keep it, because when you go back to the old one, it really feels noisy and clunky. And it's something I can show you. The old one, when you press, so you press and you can switch mode manually. So here is the ratchet mode.
Right.
I press and I switch. So this is the old one, and I had to press on this button, on the wheel button, which makes a bit of noise, to mechanically switch between free spin and ratchet mode. And on the new one, when you press, you can So let me say it differently. It goes automatically. So if I scroll slowly and it makes no noise, I just feel the lines. And if I scroll fast, it goes into free spinning. And one thing that users also complain about on the previous generation, it's not only the noise, but the fact that the middle button was used for this switching. And today the middle button is back, so you can use it as a regular mouse middle button. And there are many advanced users who actually use this pressing on the wheel middle button to do things like dragging objects in 3D or open links in new tabs.
Really interesting. And the size is pretty remarkable too for all of the technology you're building into it. Really small.
Yes, so it's really the mobile mouse. And the way we design at Logitech, the hardware and the shape of the mouse is very important to us. And I remember the time when we started working on this project with my colleague who is designer. He started to sculpt the shape. And the way to do it is you start with blocks of foam, hard foam, and you sculpt and you create different options. And then we test with users, and we test with large hands, small hands. And people, we would hide the blocks into a box, and we would tell them, okay, you are not seeing the mouse, but you are touching it. Give us feedback on the comfort. And they would tell us, okay, this one is more comfortable than this one. I feel a little bit of pain on the right or on the left. And then we would give all this feedback to the designer, who would go back and iterate until we have a shape that is great to hold. And so it's a very small mouse, but it's also very comfortable. And we tested with small hands and large hands.
Tell us about the versatility as well. The MX Anywhere 3, you have two versions of it, one specific for Macs and one that can be used with anything. So what are the key differences between the two?
So yeah, there is one version that is kind of universal, MX Anywhere 3, and one version that is for Mac, and it's called MX Anywhere 3 for Mac. The main difference is on connectivity. Both of them have Bluetooth, so you can connect directly with Bluetooth, but we have seen that PC users tend to prefer to connect with a USB dongle receiver. So the PC version has this alternative where you can use the USB dongle receiver to connect the mouse to your computer. And it's plug and play. So on the PC side, people prefer that. On the Mac side, we see from our statistics that most people prefer to connect via Bluetooth. In the previous generation, people had the choice, either receiver or Bluetooth. In this generation, it's Bluetooth only because more than 80% of Mac users connect via Bluetooth. And then the other difference is on the charging cable. The plug on the mouse side is USB-C. So you can charge the mouse with a USB-C cable, but the cable on the other side, the part that goes into the computer, the universal version gets a regular USB plug, and the Mac version gets a USB-C plug. So the cable on the Mac side is USB-C to USB-C. It's also one thing that I like about this product. It's a mobile mouse. So I want to be ready to be able to charge it anywhere I go. And because now it's USB-C, I can just take the cable of my MacBook Pro, for instance, and I unplug the MacBook Pro and I plug the mouse, and I'm going to charge the mouse with the same charger as the MacBook.
Very cool. And on a charge, you get what, something like a couple of months?
Yes, yeah, you get 70 days, up to 70 days on a charge. It takes about 2 hours to charge. And in 1 minute of charge, you also get 3 hours. So if you're at the beginning of the day, you need to work, 1 minute of charging and you are good to go for 3 hours.
That's terrific. Also, on the versatility side, you can use this with more than one device. Tell us how that works.
Yes, so when you think about being able to work anywhere, it's also the ability to work on any device. So the mouse is compatible with Mac, PC, iPad, and Linux. And on the bottom case, on the bottom of the mouse, you have this easy switch functionality where you have 3 LEDs for 3 channels. And you press the button and you can switch from connected via Bluetooth on one channel, like connected to my Mac. I press the button and I disconnect from the Mac and I connect to the iPad, for instance. So people really enjoy this ability to switch. It could be either you're moving from your PC to your iPad or between 2 computers, and you can easily switch between them. There is even, if you are just working across computers, so not including the tablets and phones, if it's between 2 PC or PC and Mac, we also have a software that is called Flow that allows to use the cursor as a way to navigate between 2 computers. So you are on one computer, and when your cursor hits the side of the screen of the first computer, the mouse will disconnect and enter the screen of the next computer. And it disconnects and reconnects, but it feels like you are working on a single computer with 2 screens. You use the cursor to flow between 2 computers.
That's remarkable. That took a little coding to accomplish that, I assume. Tell us a little bit behind the scenes how you do these kinds of things and the need for it.
So we see a lot of software developers, for instance, they are working on multiple computers. Like you're coding on one computer and you're checking how your code looks on another computer. So advanced users, it's not everybody, but there are many people who actually need to be able to work on multiple computers. And the traditional way is either you have 2 mice or you have a KVM switch where you manually switch from one computer to the next. And here what we have is a software that is using the cloud. So to create the first pairing, so the 2 computers are connected to each other with Wi-Fi. So they talk and they say, oh, I see the cursor hitting the end of the screen. They send the command to the mouse to say disconnect, connect to computer number 2. It goes pretty quickly. So it disconnect from one computer, reconnect to the next one, and then enter the screen at the place where the other one left. And then it feels like you are just flowing from one computer from one screen to the next. But it's a very quick disconnect, reconnect between computers.
Very cool stuff. So tell us about availability and pricing.
So it's available now. We just launched last week, and the price is $79. And it's available. You can pre-order on Amazon or buy today on Best Buy or our Logitech.com website.
And are there different buyers for this product, say the MX Anywhere 3, if you compare it with, say, the MX Master 3?
Yes, it's a good question. So there are 2 things. First, MX Master is a bigger mouse. So it's great if you have large hands or if you're always standing at a single desk. MX Anywhere, with the name, is really for people either who are mobile, so it's a smaller mouse you want to move around, or for people who have advanced computer needs, but they have smaller hands. And one thing that we made sure is that we would have a design that is also appealing to advanced digital creators that are female. And in the past, our range was a little bit more towards men. And this one, we have 3 colors. We have the dark graphite one, but we also have white and rose. And we have seen in user tests that these colors really attract more women. And there is also one thing that we couldn't do in the past is the lighter colors. On the side of the mouse, on the previous generation, you have rubber. And the rubber over time, if it's a light color, it kind of gets dirty. So we had to change, and we found a new material, which is silicone. And on the sides now you have silicone that it feels good, but the biggest advantage is that it's going to stay clean over time. So you can easily keep it clean. And that's another thing that will make it a great product for advanced female users.
Terrific. And for more information, the best place to go is Logitech.com. You would have guessed that, wouldn't you? JC Emmis, thank you for taking the time with us.
Thank you, Fred.